2013, a man thought he was invisible. He moved millions of dollars across borders without a bank, without a name. The FBI said it was impossible to trace. They were wrong. Within months, Ross Ulbricht was sitting in a San Francisco library in handcuffs, while federal agents had already mapped every single transaction he ever made. Bitcoin didn't hide him. Bitcoin exposed him. So here's the question nobody talks about. Is Bitcoin actually anonymous? Or have millions of people been trusting a system that was never designed to protect them? The answer will genuinely shock you. Early CTA. Before we dive into this, I want to ask you for a small favor. If you find this content valuable, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it means everything to us. Did you hit subscribe? Perfect. Now let's get back to it. The big lie. Let's start with the myth. When Bitcoin launched on January 3, 2009, a mysterious person, or group, under the name Satoshi Nakamoto, released a white paper. 9 pages. Quiet. No press release. No launch party. The world read it and thought one thing. Finally, money with no government, no bank, and no trace. And for years, that belief spread. Dark web forums repeated it. News anchors repeated it. Even some financial analysts repeated it. Bitcoin is anonymous. But Satoshi never actually said that. Not once. What the white paper actually described was a pseudonymous system. That's a very different word. Pseudonymous means you have a fake name, but the fake name still has a history, still has a record, still has a trail. Think of it like this. Imagine you committed a crime, but you wore a mask. You think you're safe. But every step you took was recorded on concrete. Every door you touched left a fingerprint. Every person you interacted with remembered the mask. The mask is your Bitcoin address. And the concrete, that's the blockchain. What the blockchain actually is. Here's where it gets fascinating. The Bitcoin blockchain is a public ledger, not private, not encrypted from the public. Public. Every single transaction ever made on the Bitcoin network, from the very first block mined on January 3, 2009, all the way to the transaction someone made 5 minutes ago, is visible to anyone right now. You can go to a website like blockchain.com and watch money move in real time. You'll see wallet addresses, long strings of numbers and letters, no names attached. And this is where people get confused. They see no names and think, safe. But here's the brutal reality. The moment your Bitcoin address connects to your real identity even once, you're exposed. Not just for that transaction, for every transaction that wallet ever made. Past, present, and future. This is called address reuse vulnerability, and it has destroyed more criminal operations than any undercover sting in history. The Ross Ulbricht case. Let's go back to Ross Ulbricht, because this story is one of the most important case studies in Bitcoin history. Ross was the creator of Silk Road, a dark web marketplace that ran from February 2011 to October 2013. At its peak, Silk Road processed over 9.5 million Bitcoin in transactions. Drug deals, forged documents, illegal weapons, all paid for in Bitcoin. Ross believed Bitcoin was his shield, but federal agents at the IRS Criminal Investigation Unit, specifically Special Agent Gary Alford, started pulling threads. In June 2013, Alford ran a simple Google search. He searched for early forum posts promoting Silk Road. He found a username, Altoid, that had posted about Silk Road in its earliest days. That same username had posted on a different forum asking for IT help for a Bitcoin startup and left a real email address. Ross Ulbricht's personal Gmail. That one moment of carelessness linked a real identity to a pseudonym, and once that link existed, investigators used blockchain analysis to trace years of transactions. Every Bitcoin that passed through Silk Road began painting a picture. On October 1, 2013, Ross Ulbricht was arrested at the Glen Park branch of the San Francisco Public Library. He was 29 years old. At trial in 2015, the blockchain records were used as direct evidence. Not circumstantial, direct. Bitcoin hadn't protected him. It had documented every move he ever made. and waited patiently for someone to connect the dots. The Chainalysis revolution. Now, this wasn't just a lucky break by a smart agent. By 2014 and 2015, a whole industry had quietly been born. Blockchain analytics companies, the most powerful being Chainalysis, founded in 2014 in New York, had figured out something incredible. Even without names, Bitcoin transactions carry behavioral patterns. Think about how you spend money. You probably pay rent the same day every month. You buy groceries at similar stores. Your transactions form a fingerprint, not a name, but a pattern. Chainalysis built software that could cluster thousands of anonymous Bitcoin addresses and determine, with remarkable accuracy, that they all belong to the same person or organization. They called this heuristic clustering. By 2017, Chainalysis had contracts with the FBI, the DEA, Europol, and financial regulators in over 40 countries. In 2022, Chainalysis was valued at $8.6 billion. Let that sink in. A company whose entire business model is reading the Bitcoin blockchain is worth nearly $9 billion. That doesn't happen unless the blockchain is readable, very readable. And in January 2022, the U.S. Department of Justice made their most dramatic announcement yet. They had seized 94,636 Bitcoin, worth approximately $3.6 billion at the time, connected to the 2016 hack of the Bitfinex exchange. The couple arrested, Ilya Lichtenstein and Heather Morgan in New York City, had used mixing services, fake identities, chain hopping. Every trick in the book. It didn't matter. 6 years of transactions unraveled in months. The exchange problem. Here's something most people never think about. Even if you're careful with your wallet, even if you never reuse addresses, even if you use privacy tools, the moment you buy Bitcoin through an exchange, a Coinbase, a Binance, a Kraken, that exchange knows exactly who you are. Since 2017, virtually every major exchange has been required by law to collect KYC, know your customer, information, your name, your government ID, your address, your bank account. So when you buy Bitcoin on Coinbase and withdraw it to a wallet, Coinbase has a record. And when law enforcement sends a subpoena to Coinbase, which they do regularly, Coinbase hands that record over. In 2020, Coinbase received over 1,500 requests from law enforcement agencies. They complied in the vast majority of cases. Your Bitcoin left the exchange with your name attached to it at the starting point, and the blockchain records every step after that. So can you actually get privacy? Now here's the fair and honest part of this conversation. Bitcoin was never designed for perfect privacy. But the crypto space has developed tools for those who genuinely need financial privacy. Journalists in authoritarian regimes, activists, whistleblowers, people escaping financial abuse. There are 3 main tools people use. CoinJoin, a technique where multiple users combine their transactions into one, making it harder to trace individual inputs and outputs. Wasabi Wallet, launched in 2018, built this directly into its interface. Lightning Network, a second layer built on Bitcoin where transactions happen off-chain and aren't broadcast to the full blockchain. Launched on the Bitcoin mainnet in March 2018, it significantly reduces transaction visibility. Privacy coins, completely separate cryptocurrencies. Monero, launched in April 2014, and Zcash, launched in October 2016, built specifically with privacy as the foundation. Monero in particular uses ring signatures and stealth addresses to make tracing essentially impossible with current tools. But even here, there are limits. In September 2020, the IRS offered a $625,000 bounty to anyone who could crack Monero's privacy. 2 firms claimed they had tools that could do it under certain conditions. Privacy in crypto is a cat and mouse game, and the mice are increasingly well-funded. The human element. And here's the truth that no technology can fix. People make mistakes. They post their wallet addresses online. They brag on Reddit. They use the same username across platforms. They forget that a screenshot from 5 years ago still lives somewhere on the internet. In 2020, Twitter was hacked in one of the most dramatic social media breaches in history. The hackers, one of whom was a 17-year-old named Graham Ivan Clark from Tampa, Florida, used the scheme to collect Bitcoin. They collected over $117,000 in a matter of hours. They were caught within weeks, not because Bitcoin was traced, because they talked, because they moved money to exchanges that had their names, because they were human. The blockchain doesn't catch criminals, human behavior does, and the blockchain just provides the perfect, permanent, unchangeable record to prosecute them with. What this means for ordinary people. Now you might be thinking, I'm not a criminal. Why does this matter to me? It matters because your financial privacy is a right, not a privilege. Your bank already knows everything about your spending. Your government can already access your records with a court order. But Bitcoin was sold, genuinely sold to an entire generation, as a way out of that surveillance, a way to move value freely, privately, as a human right. That promise was never fully real. Every single Bitcoin you've ever sent or received is sitting on a public ledger right now, today, available for anyone with the right tools to analyze. Your salary, your medical expenses, your political donations, your therapy sessions, everything you paid for in Bitcoin, recorded forever. This isn't paranoia. This is the architecture of the system. And the honest truth is, most people either don't know or have made peace with it. But you should make that choice knowingly, not because you believed a myth. So, is Bitcoin anonymous? No, it never was. It's a public ledger with a pseudonym attached. And that pseudonym is one Google search, one exchange account, one careless forum post away from becoming your real name. Ross Ulbricht is serving 2 life sentences. Ilya Lichtenstein is awaiting sentencing for stealing $3.6 billion worth of Bitcoin that he couldn't move without being caught. The blockchain remembered everything. Bitcoin is revolutionary technology, genuinely. But revolution doesn't mean invisibility. If you're using Bitcoin, know what it is, know what it isn't, and use it with both eyes open. CTA. If this video made you think differently about Bitcoin, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like the video if you learned something today. Subscribe if you want more content that cuts through the noise and tells you the truth. And drop a comment below. Did you think Bitcoin was anonymous before watching this? I read every single one. See you in the next one.